What is up, you guys? Marty McFly coming at you, bringing you guys the merch. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little road trip video. You know, I finally had a weekend off to just kind of do what I needed to do, whether it was board prep, board review, practice questions, study a little bit, look back on some cases that we had during the week, and then the rest of the time was just me. I got to jam some tunes, hit the gym, clean up the apartment a little bit, cook a little bit, and every once in a while I really need to get outside and get some fresh air and get on the road and just go do something different, travel a little bit, go see something that I'm not used to usually seeing. And in this case, we did a couple of things that are really big treats to me, and I don't get to do these things very often, so it was a really nice treat. Now, if I had it my way, I would be outside every minute of every day. No phone, no computer, no TV, no social media, just outside. And, you know, when you're in the working world, especially if you live inside the hospital for 99.9% of your life, then those days are few and far between. But I'm hoping the next couple of years when this contract ends that maybe I can start finding something with a little bit more balance. You know, especially today's day and age, man, there's nothing I love more than just being outside and just hearing nothing. Whether it's just animals, the birds, the water in my backyard, just whatever it is that just brings me peace. And maybe just, you know, I mean, we gotta work, that's part of life, and I love what I do. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But I do hope in the next couple of years when I can get into a contract and a practice that really gives me a balance of everything that I want and still be able to afford to eat food and like drink coffee and, you know, at least have a little place of my own somewhere. I'm hoping I can have that and allow me to have these opportunities where I can spend more time outdoors, because I really do miss it. The more and more and more and more I work, the more time I wish I had time to just be away in peace and be outside and have sunlight. And I can't underestimate how important that is just to making me feel human. So that brings us to this little road trip. So we went to a couple different places. The first place I went to was on Friday night, fresh out of work. Everyone was teed up for the night. Everyone was tucked in, ready to get on the road. And the first thing I did was stop at Past, Present, Future Comics over in West Palm Beach, Florida. And it was a little bit of drive out of my way. Totally worth it. Incredible comic shop. Probably one of the few I've been to that rivals Emerald City Comics in Clearwater, Florida. This one is top notch, and really, I mean, they have everything when it comes to big book omnibuses. They have action figures. They have they have a Halloween, they have a horror section, and they really outdid themselves. They have a Halloween 3 drinking glass, like, you know, like a pint glass basically, but kind of reminiscent of the ones that we used to get at like McDonald's when we were kids. And I wanted it so bad, and I probably should have just picked it up, but it's still there, so I might still pick it up one day. But I went inside and got a couple things, got a couple comics that I was really hoping to just add to the collection, and one that had just freshly come out, and I'm really excited to finally have that in my hands. So we'll get to those shortly. Went to that comic shop, and then Saturday morning got up bright and early, drove down to Bedner's Farms, the smaller market that is out in Delray Beach, Florida. And I was like, you know, I already drove all this way to get down to South Florida, several hours away, might as well just go to the real thing. Now, if you're not familiar, Bedner's Farms is basically everything you would want out of like a big Pennsylvania farm or an Ohio farm, except it's in South Florida. It's really is a hidden oasis. And it's a pretty cool destination for just a daily road trip if you're going to drive a couple hours out of your way, especially during the fall season. Now, granted, in this case, this was just all part of the road trip, so they didn't have the big autumnal festival up yet. Yeah, that's coming in September. But Bedner's Farms, I'm sure as you saw in the video, they have a wonderful farmer's market with fresh produce that's really cheap in comparison to everywhere else now. I mean, whether it be Publix or Target or whatever. These Bedner's Farms, I can't recommend enough. Give it a shot. Go inside. Let me know how you do with it. They have so many specials going on. If you wait till till I think Mondays, the girl Jasmine, really nice girl, she was telling me that if you wait till Monday and you go inside, and if you're lucky, they'll usually have lots of their house-made bagels on for sale for like a fraction of the cost, and it's already reasonably priced. And they're just trying to get rid of them before they go bad. And honestly, I had them this weekend. I had their everything bagels. They were absolutely incredible. The best bagels I've had in Florida. And yes, I mean the best I've had in Florida. I've had a lot. I've tried different kinds in Florida, but these are probably my favorite ones I've ever had. So Bedner's Farm, South Florida, definitely check it out. They have they have wine from all over the place. They even had craft beer from good old Clearwater, Tampa, Florida. They had TBBC Coral Head, which I haven't seen in a long time since I was back in Tampa. So it's good to see that again. Their produce is fantastic. Their their apple cider donuts are probably the best I've ever had in Florida, next to what I've had in Pennsylvania. If you go to Sturgill's Orchards outside of Pittsburgh, great farm with fresh hot cider and apple cider donuts. Those are probably the best I've had. But the best I've had in Florida so far has been Bedner's Farm, so definitely give those a shot. The ones at Whole Foods are lies. Don't bother with those. Anyway, that brings us to the next place. Where did we go after that? We went to Famous Faces and Funnies Part 2. That's out in Boynton Beach, Florida. Boynton Beach is just a great town. Been there a few times. Great people, great town. Traffic's insane. People are crazy out there. There's people from all over the world that are moving to Boynton, and no one across the board knows how to drive. So it's actually like, I mean, compared to Miami, it's not as bad, but it's insanity out there. I mean, people just don't know how to drive anymore, and I'm fairly certain none of these people are actually born and raised in Florida, nor did they have an aggressive like driver's education, because mine when I was in high school was really like pretty challenging. They didn't just give it to you like they do nowadays. Ours was, you actually had to earn it. So it's just crazy to see nowadays, like, these people just have driver's licenses and they probably shouldn't have. Right, Reginald? Reginald agrees. Reginald's been getting pretty hot lately because it's the middle of summer. So Reginald, sorry, buddy. He says it's okay. He's just been checking out all the other skeletons that are hanging out here, especially over at Michael's. And anyway, we went to Famous Faces and Funnies Part 2. The OG is over in Melbourne, Florida. Great place, great people. Everyone there is super, super nice. If you have questions, I'll answer them for you. I don't know if they actually wanted me to videotape their store, but actually they didn't seem to have a big problem with it. I'm just promoting their store. If you've never been there, great comic shop, great action figure selection. I've definitely gotten a few Batman things in there. I've gotten a lot of my comics there. Comics are just another, like, I don't know, it's like a fantasy escape for me. I love reading Batman, Moon Knight, Punisher, and that's going to be part of what we picked up. So if you're ever in the Boynton Beach, Florida, definitely go check out Famous Faces and Funnies and Famous Faces and Funnies 2. Wow, words are hard today. Definitely go check that out. It's a great place, great people. And then where else did we go? We went to Michael's. Of course we went to Michael's. I mean, why wouldn't we? I went to Michael's because I had a couple coupons I had to get rid of, and we eventually got the Limax Monster Arcade, and I am obsessed with it. As you can see in the video before, that's just the box. I haven't set up the whole village yet. I'm actually just moving into my new place, and thank God, because I needed to get out of that kind of like insane apartment life, because I don't know what it is with people in apartments now. They just forgot how to be human. You either have an elephant above you with elephantitis and bricks for feet, or you got a bunch of stoners that are just smoking the whole building out, and I needed to get out of it, man. I had to go. So moved into a new place, and so far so good, man. I actually feel safe for the first time in a very long time. Maybe I'll actually get a decent amount of sleep. So we got a whole new table set up, and that's where the Halloween Village is going to go. That will be up shortly. Can't wait to show that to you guys, but I was so excited to get the Monster Arcade from Limax. So that'll be up shortly as well. So we got that. We went to Cracker Barrel. One of my favorite places for Code Oranges, Halloween stuff. They're usually one of the first people to put it out, and it keeps getting earlier and earlier, and as a Halloween freak, I'm okay with it. I mean, you know, I'm one of those people, I gotta look for Halloween stuff back in, like, May. That's usually when I start looking. Right, Reginald? Reginald agrees. And I'll usually go to, you know, Hobby Lobby as soon as May starts. That's when they put out the fall stuff. I know it's not Halloween, but it's fall. That counts. Michael's, you know, Cracker Barrel, and then At Home is probably one of the, like, groups that's, like, waving the flag for Halloween right now. I mean, between them and Michael's and Bath & Body Works now, of course, in July, putting out some really cool Halloween stuff. This year was, like, this Frankenstein's ice cream shop thing, which is alright. I mean, I didn't really, like, I mean, I always want Halloween candles and stuff, but I always go in there because they have cool Halloween decorations, and I think, so the way my understanding is with Bath & Body Works this year, we're going to have this Frankenstein's ice cream shop, And then in like a month or two, we're gonna have like a legit Halloween section. So I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for that. Like I said, anything for me, Halloween, horror movies, spooky shit. That's my game. That's where I would love to be. So anyway, we did quite a bit of shopping this week. Went to Cracker Barrel. Did we get anything? Yes, we got the skull skeleton bowl, which I think is just going to be my key bowl, or we're going to put stuff in there. But so we did a little bit of shopping this week and had a good time. And really, these little road trips give me peace. They give me longevity. They make me happy. They make me feel like that the only thing I don't do is just work all day. So those little things mean a lot to me. So let's go break down what we got. All right, guys. So like we said, me and Reginald went on a pretty good trip this weekend. We got the Monster Arcade from Lemax. We got the Skull Candy Bowl from Cracker Barrel. And something that I've been waiting for a while to come out, and rest in peace, Tim Sale, but a series that was really important to me, like the first series of comics that really got me into Batman. I mean, I was always into Batman growing up. Batman Begins is still my favorite my favorite movie of all time, and next to Jaws and The Godfather, of course. But I would still say Batman Begins is probably my favorite movie of all time, next to Jaws. And the original series that got me into like reading Batman was Batman: The Long Halloween. Well, when they announced that they were going to do the sequel after all the other haunted series that they did, I was just elated, man. And I've been reading it since book 0 and book 1, which they did a combined one for. But this is The Last Halloween. This is book 8 with Solomon Grundy. He was kind of like the focal point of this story. And essentially, think of like The Long Halloween with the mystery of, who is the holiday killer and all that, and bringing back the Falcone family. And, it's really just a continuation of that and of The Long Halloween and Dark Victory and the Haunted series that they did. This is a beautiful continuation of that with another whodunit. And it's just continuing like the Halloween theme of Batman. So they're really, I would say if you're curious about getting into comics, or you're curious about getting into Batman, you can't go wrong with The Long Halloween, and I think The Last Halloween is a great follow-up to that series. So really excited. This came out on July 30th, so it just came out. Famous Faces and Funnies were already sold out of this, so I went to Past, Present, Future Comics, and they had a copy of it. Of course, while I was there, I'm trying to finish up my Punisher collection here. Now, there are parts of like the Punisher collection, like the Franken series that were kind of like goofy, but there is part of like the older Punisher comics I'm still trying to finish. Like I had the OG series 1 through 5, which was supposed to be 1 through 4, but it's actually 1 through 5. And then there was a comic shop in Brandon, Florida. There's 2 of them. There's a big one, and then there's this guy that's selling out of a small plaza, kind of like Inland Brandon. I wish I could remember the name of his shop, but he had Punisher 1 through 20 for like, granted, this was 10 years ago, but he had a really good deal. He was selling it to me for like $20. So, of course, I got those, read them all. And now we're just continuing the series. So what we have here is the Punisher. This is the series for 1 through 6. Basically, Jigsaw's back. I really need to make sure these are boarded at some point. But this is the Jigsaw Punisher series 1 through 6. And I got book 1. I got book 5. And I know it's out of order. You don't need to remind me. And book 6. So if you want to look for the series where it's like the fall of Jigsaw, or the death of Jigsaw, for so to speak, this is that series. So it finishes on book 6. Really glad to actually add that to collection, because I don't think I actually read all of those. I think I read them kind of out of order. And I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just kind of like, all right, cool. I looked at the shop. I spent so much time shopping around, and I really wanted to get back on the road. So I think he's got the rest of the series. I think he had books 1 through 6 at Past, Present, Future Comics. And what I need to do is just, when I have a little bit more off time, and I just need to go back and get them, because like, I think now I'm just missing 2, 3, and math. I think I'm just missing 2, 3, and 4. So I have 1, 5, and 6, so might as well just pick those up while I'm there too. Sorry for moving the camera so much for you guys. But anyway, that's what I picked up at Past, Present, Future Comics. And then the next one I got at Famous Faces and Funnies Part 2. Now this I didn't even know was coming out. I didn't know anybody was making this, to be honest with you, but I saw it Famous Faces and Funnies Part 2. Maybe you guys know a little bit more about this than I do, and you'll be able to tell me about this. But this is Werewolf by Night, the Blood Moon Rise. So I did not know this series was coming out. The artwork itself is beautiful. Really excited to see where they take this series. But it's kind of got like the typical like, if you've read like the Benson and Hurwitz Moon Knight series, like this, you know, the updated graphics, they really did a great job with it. And I mean, the coloring is beautiful. The writing is actually pretty good. And they don't really waste a lot of time. I mean, they go right into it with the Werewolf by Night and, you know, doing some spooky werewolf shit. And, you know, they go right into Werewolf by Night. They bring in Count Dracula, and they go right into the series. So I'm excited to see where they actually bring this and where the story goes. But yeah, Werewolf by Night, Blood Moon Rise. Pretty cool thing to pick up, Volume 1. Excited to see where this series goes. I'm not too familiar, but basically Gioacchino, Lou, Messina, and Yocono. So I'm not really too familiar with these group of artists that are associated with this, but so far so good, man. Excited to see where this goes. Now, one thing I am looking forward to coming out soon is the Punisher Red Band series. That's going to come out here shortly. So I know pre-orders are already up across the board. I know Famous Faces and Funnies is going to sell out. Like, if they're not already sold out, they're probably going to sell out soon. So Punisher Red Band, really excited to see where that comes out. I might just have to pre-order it online and see if one of the distributors can send it to me, because I know that's going to go quick. But apparently it's going to be super violent, super Punisher-y, no holds barred, really exciting stuff. And that's it from me. Like I said, this is just like a little road trip video. Figured I'd give you guys some like decent, you know, just chill music to play while I went and traveled around. Got to enjoy a little bits and parts of Florida. We need that in our life. It gives us longevity, makes us think about things other than just freaking work. And I love what I do. Wouldn't trade it for the thing, but everybody needs a break. So that's it from me, Marty McFly. I hope you guys are doing all right. Hope you guys are taking care of each other. Remember, as always, that dude falls down in the pit, you pick him back up. Cheers, guys.